junior high and high school students that tonight.
Left after the 63 season and went on to a storied high school football career, winning state championships in Hobson, Mexico, and Port Neches Groves, Texas. Doug Etheridge is retired and lives in Mansfield. Assistant coach J.C. Rickenberg headed north to Dodge City, where in 1970 he guided the Dodge City Red Storm to its only state football title in history. J.C. and wife Dottie are retired and still live in Dodge City. A warm Dalhart welcome for the return of Doug Etheridge and J.C. Rickenberg. We are now presenting the returning players from the 63 Wolves. Please hold your applause, at least the major part of it, until the end. We start with Richard Allender, past CEO and president of Farrah Manufacturing, now lives in the Woodlands outside of Houston. Philip Benz, a former coach in Clayton. He test drives tires and now lives in San Angelo. Ricky Boyd, the contractor, luxury car and yacht broker, living in Clear Lake Shores, Houston, Clear Lake Shores outside Houston. Bobby Brown was a rancher in Wyoming and Montana, now retired and lives in Amarillo. Victor Chandler retired from the U.S. Air Force and then worked for the Texas Highway Department right here in Dalhart. Dwight Clifton was a vocational agriculture teacher in Dalhart, Cumbie, and Cleveland, where he now lives. Jeff Cochran is one of 3 Cochran brothers on the team. Jeff was a dentist in Dalhart and now practices dentistry in Dallas. John Cochran gained 1,500 yards rushing in 63. He was a businessman and now works for the TSA at the Amarillo Airport. Bobby Cunningham is the son of longtime Dalhart doctor John Cunningham. Bobby is a pharmacist in Lubbock. Lynn Harris has ranched in Dalhart for many years and has been a Civil Air Patrol pilot. Jimmy Heiso worked many years for the railroad and is retired and living in Trinidad, Colorado. Jimmy Kelly is a rancher living in Logan, New Mexico. Chester Latham is a farmer in Dalhart. He was a real estate broker in Phoenix for many years. Ronnie McClendon was the quarterback and went down to injury against Rockwall. Like Jimmy Heiso, he retired from the railroad and is living in Trinidad. Burton McElroy was a 132-pound lineman forced into action at quarterback against Rockwall. He's a pastor at the Southwest Foursquare Church in Amarillo. Richard Pinner is an engineer and started his own wire and cable manufacturing business in Garland, where he now resides. Phil Perkle was the spark plug fullback on the team. He coached, was a refinery recruiter, banker, and leadership trainer before becoming a senior vice president of United Supermarkets in Lubbock. Frank Quintana had a sandwich shop and is still a carpenter in Goodwill, Oklahoma. Glenn Robertson, an All-Stater at 63, has a PhD as an historian and visiting associate professor at the University of Oklahoma in Norman. Robertson wishes he could suit up tonight and play Rockwall again. Pete Stardello is a retired tax partner and accountant living in Phoenix. Jimmy Shepard is retired after 36 years as a court reporter in San Antonio.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, they have their wolf statues in their hands, back together after 50 years. Players, please stay on the field, but right now, let's give a thunderous round of applause to the greatest team in Dalhart history, the 1963 Dalhart Wolves. Now, there's more. There were other coaches who were part of the Dalhart dynasty in the 60s, and several are with us tonight. We're proud to present the Decade of Dominance plaques to Doc Rao, head coach of the Dalhart Wolves from 1969 to 74. During that time, he won 2 district championships and went on to be head coach at Goliad, Alpine, and Devine, Texas. He's retired and living in Midland with his wife, Mary. 1960-era assistant coaches returning for our reunion are Jack Boston, former Dalhart athletic director, who's retired and living in Dalhart. Ricky Nix, who coached for 42 years and is retired and living in Amarillo. Wally Malden of Lubbock, who left coaching after Dalhart and was an industrial president. And Tommy Sherrill, who lives in Dalhart and went on to become a head coach of the Wolves. Please welcome back coaches Rao, Boston, Nix, and Malden, and Tommy Sherrill. Earlier today, the Decade of Dominance Committee presented Dalhart Wolves coach Stephen Young a plaque recognizing him as the winningest and longest tenured coach in Dalhart High School history. While he's with the team, but you gotta know that Young has compiled 52 and 28 records and now his 8th season in Dalhart. Let's hear it for Stephen Young. Finally, tonight we have 3 special awards for a trio of Decade of Dominance Wolves players who scaled great heights. In 1961, Dalhart kicked off the Decade of Dominance by upsetting defending state champion Denver City, snapping the Mustangs' 26-game winning streak. Many rank this as the biggest football victory in Dalhart history. In the third quarter, with Dalhart trailing 8-7, Tommy Ledbetter ripped off a 97-yard touchdown run. Dalhart pulled off a shocking 29-8 upset. Ledbetter earned a scholarship to play for the Texas Longhorns. He's been 37 years in sales and is now retired and living in Carlsbad, California. Receiving the plaque for the greatest play in Dalhart High School history. Let's give a big hand to Tommy Ledbetter. In 1970, Dalhart had one of its best teams in history, which suffered a crushing defeat to Phillips due to an officiating blunder. 2 players from that team went on to phenomenal playing careers at Texas Tech. In his senior year, Celso Ramirez scored 7 touchdowns in his final game to set the all-time Panhandle High School single season scoring record. The Panhandle Sports Hall of Fame named him the area's football player of the year. Celso started as a defensive back at Tech and has been working for a sporting goods store in Lubbock ever since, receiving a plaque for the greatest individual season in Dalhart High School history. Let's give it up for Celso Ramirez. And finally, we honor the courageous efforts of Brian Hall. Before his 9th grade year, Brian lost his right foot when he got trapped in a mechanical sprinkler system. Undeterred, he started practice kicking, and he received statewide attention when he kicked for the Dalhart Wolves in 1970 and 71. Brian moved on to Texas Tech where he was Celso's teammate. He earned national attention as the Red Raiders' extra point and field goal kicker for 3 seasons. They called him Hickory Toe. He played on the Southwest Conference Championship team. He's a businessman in Dallas. Tonight, we present a Special Achievement Award to Brian Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. You are looking at many of the coaches and players from the greatest era in Dalhart High School football history. At the end of the game, please stick around as Dalhart coach Stephen Young invites all of these players and coaches, as well as any other players from the 61 to 70 Decade of Dominance era, onto the field as they're going to join the 2013 Dalhart Wolves for the playing of the school song. But for right now, let's all stand, clap, and sing along in tribute as the Dalhart Wolves marching band honors the football stars from 1963. And Dalhart's Decade of Dominance